Hi then, Kate. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. And as with all the members of the FAB Business Club, I am using this opportunity to interview the members so that they can showcase their business and a little bit about themselves. So, for anybody who's watching who doesn't know, what is it that you do and when did you start in business?
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to be here today, as always, the lovely Lisa. Okay, so I am a menopause and gender equity consultant, and I work with organisations to create positive conversations around menopause. And that isn't just for women, it's about everybody having those conversations at every strata of an organisation. So it gets to be really interesting about how we believe what we believe about menopause and how we react to it, because we're all given negative stereotypes about it. So our behaviours and our conversation patterns. So looking into that and changing the way we do that to enable women to stay in their careers.
So, how long
And
have you been doing that, Kate?
okay, so it's developed over time, but essentially I've worked in menopause now for about 8 years. Um, and I started out as purely as a coach, working with individuals. And as time's gone on, I've brought that work alongside my previous career, which was for 20 years nearly. I was a global project manager and I put in big organizational process change projects around the world. So I bring that sort of crazy corporate career alongside my menopause stuff. And that's how I get into this. And
Mhm.
that's my understanding. So I know what it's like to be in that space. I know what it's like to be in a corporate environment. So that, I mean, I've been in it a long time, but it's morphed and changed and developed over those years.
So, what inspired you to start this side of your business then around the menopause kind of things?
Okay, so as I say, I had this near 20-year career in corporate, and I was made redundant in 2008, just as I'd had my first child. And I stepped over into my other career, which I'd been sort of bringing up, my side hustle, if you like, as a coach, and I trained as a psychotherapist as well. And I was doing that, and everything was hunky dory, and that was until my menopause hit.
Mhm.
And it took me from someone who felt utterly invincible to someone who couldn't get out the front door in the morning. And I started this process purely to save myself. It was a very selfish act because I was terrified I was going to lose everything. And I don't just mean my career, I mean my family, my marriage. I thought everything was going to go. Um, and and I would have to be in social situations like for work and just for life in general. And I'd be struggling with all of my symptoms. But the most obvious one was I was having these massive hot flushes, and my makeup would be sliding down my face, and I would be going, oh my God, I'm so
Oh,
hot.
it's awful when that
I'm so
happens.
sorry. I'm so sorry. It's my menopause. It will pass. And at the sheer mention of the word menopause, I could clear a room. People disappeared. Um, but they would often come back to me and say, you know, that thing you spoke about, can you tell me a bit more about it? Can you give me a bit more information? I know it's going to be my journey, or I'd like to support my partner or my mum or my friends, whatever it might be. And it just kind of snowballed from there, really.
So kind of like by accident almost in a way then,
Yeah,
in terms of it being a business thing. So
yeah.
is in all of the work that you do at the moment then, what would you say is your favorite element of that?
Oh, I love the public speaking. I love standing in front of people and talking, and I just love it. It's a really big thing. I do keynote speeches and I do training and I do lunch and learns, and that kind of standing in front of people and guiding them through what this is and opening the doors to understanding is just phenomenal. It's
Mm.
amazing, and I
And
love it.
starting the conversations, I imagine as well.
Yeah.
So no, things are getting better, aren't they? But it's still there's such a long way for us all to learn. I think even as women, we don't know what's happening to us. Nobody prepares us for it. It's not like
No,
when you
and
start your periods, you've got all the
no,
information at school. it's like there's no menopause classes. So what's
No.
your favorite thing then about being self-employed, would you say?
My favorite thing is it gives me some flexibility
So
to
least
be,
favorite.
oh, least
The
favorite,
least
my
favorite
least
thing.
favorite. Selling. I hate it, and I'm really not good at it. I I love what I do, but I find it really hard to do sales, and it's like a dark art that I'm yet to understand how to do it. It feels incongruent with who I am, but I know I've got to do it and I've got to learn it. But yeah, that's
It's,
sales,
it's
hands
finding
down.
a way that feels okay for you to do it, isn't it? I think that's something for a lot of us who want to serve others. That's the bit we don't like, the sort of it feels a bit, I don't know, icky, doesn't it?
Yeah,
When
it
we
really
think about
does.
sales, but obviously there are ways around it. We are going to be doing some workshops in the new year, in 2024, around these kind of issues within the FAB Business Club members. So watch this space, I will say.
Woohoo!
Watch this space. So if you were to talk to the younger Kate now, what would you say to her? What do you know now that you wish you knew when you'd first started back in business?
Um, I think probably I would have said you're going to have to work harder than you probably ever thought you would. But by the same token, it's going to be interesting on a level that you never anticipate. And you will be able to follow your interests and feel amazing about learning stuff that you wouldn't have had that opportunity to do before.
Write your own script, can't you?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I remember I saw a quote not that long ago, and it said self-employment when you work 80 hours a week to avoid working 40 hours a week for somebody else. And I thought that's quite true. Quite true,
It's
especially when you
true.
first start, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, very true.
So obviously you've been a member of the FAB Business Club for a good few months now. So what was it about the FAB Business Club that inspired you to join?
I was debating it, and I came along to a couple of meetings, and just to give it some context, I've been to other networking groups and other female networking groups before, and I was very. I wanted to make sure that before I did anything, that I would be with women who I respected and I valued their opinion. So I was, let's just say, a little cynical and jaded by my previous experiences. Um, Not that I hadn't met fabulous women before, but they were in a minority, and the difference in FAB is that they are in some way the majority, and the women are incredible, and they are doing extraordinary things, and they have amazing life paths as well. So they have, and I love life stories. So I walk their path behind them, listening as they go, and they tell me something, and I was inspired by the women who were in the group, and that's the thing that I wanted, and that's the thing that I value most.
Brilliant. Well, my next question was going to be, what's your favorite thing about it? So I suppose you've kind of
Yeah,
answered
that's
that,
it.
haven't you? But
It's
I think
definitely
what I find so it's best it's kind of, if I'd have imagined what I wanted, I imagined it, and then it's kind of like 10 times better than that. I'm just so chuffed with how it's all going. And what blows my mind is the when you think about the collective knowledge and experience in the room, it's just like mind blowing, because there's just the caliber of people who sort of join and want to be part of the movement. I'm calling it from now on. It's the
yeah.
movement. It's just wonderful to me. So if anybody's watching this and thinks, oh, I'd like to know more, and maybe get one of Kate's books, or sort of know where there might be able to be some opportunities for you to speak, or
Yes, the
how would
book,
they
the
get a
book.
hold of you? Your second
Right.
page.
So the book is available on all outlets, but for me, you can either go to my website, which is menopauseinbusiness.com, or alternatively, you can email me at kate@menopauseinbusiness.com.
Okay, or connect with you on LinkedIn where you are a
Oh, yeah.
top voice.
Yes. Oh, yes. That small thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I seem to spend too much of my life on LinkedIn, and I am there as a top voice. It's very true. But yeah, absolutely. And if you go there on my YouTube channel, which is Kate Menopause Coach, you can find what I talk about, how I talk, and all those things. And on both LinkedIn and on my website, you'll get loads of testimonials of people I've worked with. So that there's lots of
Brilliant.
that.
Great. Well, I've learned something today talking to you there, Kate, because I didn't realise you had a YouTube channel. So I was talking about you the other day with some friends, and I said, oh, if you want me to hook you up with her, but now I know you've got a YouTube channel, I can send them there, can't I? So brilliant. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And I will see you at a meeting very soon.
Thank you so much, Lisa. You are absolutely fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Right back at you. Hi then, Kate. Thank you so much for spending time with me today.